I'm going to briefly and quickly introduce the players, and we will jump right into a recap from last time's adventure. First up, we have Tazarath, played by...
Cerulean. And Tazarath is an evil paladin.
Wait, you're
What?
actually evil?
Yes. Like, you didn't know?
Time to kill the stream.
Oh,
Taz-
sure enough. No,
Tazarath's
I didn't know that because you didn't tell me a damn thing about the game. We were playing the game. Cool. Next up, I have Snake and the Fixer-Upper, played by...
Raya Naga. And I'm playing the Fixer-Upper, who is a half-orc cleric, and Snake, who is a Yuan-Ti sorcerer.
Marvelous. Melrath.
Starry 827 playing the dwarf fighter Mel.
And last but not least, we have Bob.
Who might be changing his name to Stardust. um, Bob is I always forget this, tiefling?
Evil paladin.
He's not evil. He's just a dick.
Okay.
I forgot you put in chaotic neutral but sane. So,
Always have to specify.
You do, because of 2nd edition.
That's right.
So when last our adventures were intrepid, the party had managed to work their way through an ooze-riddled ancient temple. They managed to open up a floodgate area and escape through the hole that had created. They are almost there to Sloopdildop, and at this point, the halfling spy, Fargus Rumblefoot, I believe his name is, had indicated that there was a secret passage leading to a lost tome of the Netherese Empire, which is like a precursor civilization filled with evil mages that oppress the world from flying cities. And the party has ventured down into the tome, and as they started to do so, they found that a psychic voice had called out saying, I think she said, "Help me."
What did
She
that
did
bitch
say something to that.
Yeah, she did, but what did she actually fucking say? No, I don't see where it is.
You could probably dig up the old video.
Yeah, I don't care that much.
Yeah, no one does.
The gist was, "Help me." And you haven't heard much from the psychic presence since. So, in the process of all of that, you had slowly been making your way through, looking for traps and so on and so forth. And actually, rather than finding a trap, you found a mechanism. And the mechanism allows one of the sarcophagi to be slid on rollers away from
Oh yeah, I remember that.
stairs that go down. But the problem is that the sarcophagi have suddenly manifested specters of ancient ghosty creatures.
Because you hate us.
Yeah,
I remember.
This is correct. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, we already rolled for initiative and everything, so we're ready to go straight into the combat.
Is there a map for this, or does it not really matter at this point?
Lost Tomb, I think.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wait, really? We rolled initiative? I don't remember that.
Do you want to roll initiative again? You're pretty good on
Nope. I just looked.
Okay, well then in that case, Fixer-Upper, you are first. What is the first thing you would like to do?
I would like to roll religion.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it's religion, all right. Something dead and spectral has arisen. It's definitely religion.
Better be good. Your roll, I mean. Hey!
I can provide a good roll for you.
He delivered. You only have a +2 to your religion? Huh, okay. Anyways, the creatures are...
It is an int roll, so...
Specters! These are undead. They are most definitely very evil. They have the following damage resistances. Please listen very carefully. Acid, cold, fire, lightning, thunder, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical weapons. They are immune to necrotic and poison. They also have a host of immunities to conditions such as charm, exhaustion, grapple, paralyzed, petrified, poison, prone, restrained, and unconscious.
And
Sheesh.
how does resistance work?
Resistance just means they take half damage from those attacks.
Okay.
Specters are known for being incorporeal, meaning that they can move through other creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. They are known to be weak to sunlight, but that doesn't help you guys here because, as far as I know, you have no method of creating sunlight. And they are most famously known for their ability to drain the life from their targets.
Lovely.
So,
Since my audio keeps cutting out whenever you talk, did you say that they were resistant?
You just cut out.
yeah, you cut out too. Like we're
Oh,
hearing it on
wonderful.
our end. Yeah.
Did you say that they are resistant to?
You might want to type that one.
Yeah,
God damn it!
okay,
Did you say they were resistant to?
Yes, I believe.
Oh,
Okay.
Still was the Spectre.
The Spectre told you. I am resistant to fire.
But not psychic, right? So I got one there.
Yeah,
what is this one?
and neither radiant, so we're good.
How about force?
No.
I didn't hear force.
The D&D universe that I'm aware of is immune to force.
Ooh.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Use the force.
I'd rather use the Schwartz.
It actually would have been very dramatic if you had cut out there on our end. Use the blank.
I've never been happy.
Now, Captain GM Spectre.
Yeah.
Spectre 3, is in melee with me, right? So, can I not shoot Sacred Flame at him without the penalty?
You can hit him with Sacred Flame without penalty, because
Oh, it's an attack, right?
anytime that you make a creature roll a saving throw, there's no penalty to be had.
Okay, so it's not attacks, right?
It's yeah. Saves aren't.
Saves are saved. Okay.
Are these guys listed in the library anywhere?
I'm sorry, what?
I just wondered if I could look up and have a list of all their resistances. I was looking in the library. I don't see them.
You won't.
Okay, that's fine.
Here's what I'm going to do. Rather than list what they are resistant to, I am going to list damage types that I am aware that they aren't resistant to.
Okay.
And to be fair, I don't think half damage is awful. My guess is they don't have too many hit points.
Well, I'm not going to confirm that, but
Right. But what I'm saying is someone like, we don't have a pure mage here anyway, so who cares? But they are resistant to all non-magic versions of damage for physical, I believe.
We. So wait, I have a spell slot checked off. Is that still true? I don't think we've rested since the other one.
you haven't rested
Now,
yet.
but I have 2 little bubbles. Does that mean I can cast it twice?
You can cast a spell twice. So, like with your spell list, just remember, you have 1 bubble.
I have 2.
No, you have one that's checked and one that's.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
No worries.
I have 2 total.
Right. When it comes to the empty spell slot, you just choose from whatever's on your list and cast it. So, actually, you know what? Never mind. That's a previous edition of Dungeons & Dragons you never played. I won't confuse you. Anything that's on your spell list you can cast in terms of first level spells and use up that last bubble.
Okay.
That's your question?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Back to the fixer-upper. Oh, immunity.
Could you write those out too? Thanks.
Hey,
I don't think the specters are in a talking mood.
I was polite.
there we go.
Okay, thank you. Oh, okay. Wow. Damn, poison? Ugh. All right.
I mean, as a cleric, you're just doing it left and right.
Well, no, I was thinking about my other character. But yeah, I'll be Sacred Flaming Spectre 3.
Sounds
Okay.
kinky.
Yeah.
Do you need me to target that, or have you got it?
I can do it. All right.
Your Sacred Flame isn't very spectacular.
No, but it also isn't something they're resistant to, so.
Spectre 3. Okay. And I roll. Which one do I do? Do I roll cast on them?
Cast on Spectre 3.
Okay.
I think we determined last time that cast just does whether it's the attack roll or.
I rolled save, but whatever. I didn't roll it on him, but he saved.
I don't know if he did. Hold on.
So that would mean he blocked, right?
Yeah.
How can he, though?
Alright, here's what I'm going to do. For your own simplicity, I'm going to actually ask you to do that again.
Thank you.
There you go. Good thing you did.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh, and you're right. He would have saved against that. So, anyways, right. So he fails. So you get to do your damage.
Wow. Hey, they're yeah, they don't have a lot of hit points.
Well, wounded just means that they've received any damage at all.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like a third or something. All right, never mind.
No, if you look on the list, or sorry, on the combat tracker, you'll see that they are at green status.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the only info we get is green to red, and that's 50%.
I think so. Let's watch carefully
Okay.
as we go through this, and
Okay.
we'll find out. Snake, you're up next, and Bob, you'll be up after Snake.
All right.
So he's only green wounded, as opposed to red wounded. Don't forget we have a lot of NPCs we can sacrifice.
Oh, nice. This guy picked up the Drowcraft dagger, so he can actually. Cool. I will move here, I guess.
Okay.
Wait, that's not you.
Oh, sorry. We look the same.
Snake is next to number 4.
Okay, so
you can use the mouse wheel to scroll in on the battlefield.
oh yeah, I was really scrolled out. Whoops. So yeah, I'm just gonna attack number 4 then, with my magical dagger.
Hold on a second. Number 4. There you go. Oh man.
What?
These things have pathetic AC.
Wow.
Well, do your damage.
Gotta practice my stabbing.
I know, right?
4.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Good deal. Bob, you're up. After Bob will be Evil Paladin Tazarath.
Do I want to just go gung ho and do it all, or save it?
I don't think they have many hit points. Honestly, I don't think you should waste too much.
Okay. Let's see.
Because my cleric only has one spell slot right now. So nice.
All right.
Okay. Did
The
you
power
know
of the force.
you can drop it right on the thing
Mm-hmm.
on the map?
Yep.
Oh. I'm like, hey! Yeah, we know that.
Well done. So Bob, on the other hand, these specters are not particularly agile. So with your superior aim, it does not take much effort for you to lock one down, and you watch as your Eldritch Blast rips away at his soul.
I used a
Azarath,
Schwartz.
you're up. Ront's going to be next, and it looks like it's going to be a whole bunch of shit in the way before Melrath.
Random note before I take my turn. Didn't Ront take those 3 damage like ages ago?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my damnedest to remove Spectre number 1. with my greatsword.
Do it.
1 second.
It's great.
Okay.
Critical. Ooh.
In addition to my... Well, you know what? I'm going to see how much damage I do. When should
Don't
I
add
choose
extra
whether
dice.
to...
Don't
What?
don't add extra dice. Just roll.
No, I know. But when should I choose whether or not to use Divine Smite?
You know what? I'll double check. I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but I'm just gonna make sure that I'm right. Okay. So when you hit the creature, and it has to be with a melee weapon attack, so you can't like throw a javelin or anything. But before you do roll any damage for the attack, you have to decide to expend your paladin spell slot to deal radiant damage to the target in addition to the weapon's damage. So what you're gonna do is, I think you only have first level spell slots, right?
Yeah, I've only got 2 first level spell slots, plus the bonus chromatic orb that I can fire off once.
The bonus?
Yeah,
What's
I've
that
got...
from?
It's the same reason I have cantrips at all. I have... what is it called?
I'm trying to
Where
find
is it?
Magic Initiate. Okay, so
Magic Initiate, yeah.
Is your character even remotely balanced? Just asking. Jeez. Paladins with mage spells. What does the world come to?
Well, anybody can take Magic Initiate as long as they yeah, anybody can take it. Anyways, moving on. Yes. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna roll your damage for the attack, and then you're gonna roll an extra 2d8. Now, all the damage for your attack is supposed to be doubled because of the crit, but as far as I know, and I'm actually gonna double check under actions here. Spear.
Well, I'll get extra dice because of the crit, and then that whole mess will be cut in half due to incorporeal.
Yeah, but that's not the point that I was trying to get at. What I'm trying to say here is that when it comes to Divine Smite, there is no way to add that modifier to your attack that I'm aware of in terms of the extra dice you're supposed to get.
Right,
As
that's...
opposed to, some of the other different types of attacks we have, right?
Or the other smites that are technically spells that I have.
Mm-hmm. And so,
So we'd have to do it manual. Got it.
yes. So what I'm also saying is roll the damage for your attack as normal with your weapon, and then we're going to add 4d8 to that damage.
So 7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I'll do that. 4d8 radiant.
It didn't apply it, but I'm going to anyways. Now that's not resistible because it's the wrong damage type. So now if you look at the monsters on the field, if you zoom in real close, the one that is directly north of Fixer Upper, if you look at the little circle, it's kind of yellowish. If you look at the circle for underneath Snake, I think it's the same color. And then over to the right, you see the circle for Spectre is red.
Okay, so there's 2 different damage levels.
Yeah, green is undamaged, yellow is partially damaged, red is at half health or lower.
It says heavy next to him.
Yeah.
Heavy man.
I don't see that on my screen though, because I have different shots. So anyways, so that's Tasrath. Well done. Ront is up. What is Ront gonna do?
Whatever fixer upper tells him to.
Actually, let's go there.
Right, try to kill Spectre 1.
Spectre 1. Let me figure out which one that is.
The heavy one.
That's the one next to me.
The heavy one. Pretty sure they're all kind of light.
True.
The corpulent specter.
Spectre 4 gets a attack of opportunity on him.
Oh well.
And what does Ront say?
Dice.
Boy, let's make it orky. Fortunately for him, the Spectre misses his very creepy touch.
Ooh.
You go like
Maybe Rod likes that.
the spectral stroke upon my cheek.
Come here, boy.
Pulls out his great axe and manages a hit. And
What a beast.
Partially resisted. So he has dealt yet more damage. And
Good boy, Ront.
yeah, go Ron. Spider bait. Spider bait.
A sincere hope is that he has some sort of ranged weapons.
Oh, he does. The question is, just check. He does not. What about this one? Okay, that one is less. How do I clear that?
Hmm?
Hold on a second. Story. Let me see here. Wait a minute. Wait. Whew. I accidentally deleted Spider Bite from existence. And I'm just gonna quickly modify some shit here. Okay.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
It is now Spider. I was trying to delete one of his targets, and I deleted him himself. My bad.
He wanted to be incorporeal for a bit.
He's never gonna forgive you.
There we go. Now he's physically on the field. Now he's got the right monster targeted, and we're gonna fire.
Pew
He
pew.
manages to hit with his shitty ass short bow. Ooh! The most damage he could possibly do, and it's still not that much. Well done, Spiderbait. Fargus Rumblefoot. Wait a minute. Yeah.
Self-targeting.
Don't delete him.
Wow, he has 27 hit points.
Yeah, he's a bit of a step up from most of you lousy prisoners.
Party leader.
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, let me just double check on something. Weapon attack, ally 5 feet. Yeah, that works. Oops, that's the wrong thing. And here it is. Bloop. Ah, his hand crossbow misses the spectral being. So now it is time for unearthly goodness. Let's see here. Plus 4. That's
Don't forget he's really heavy.
heavy. And all right, let's see. So Spectre 1 reaches out and runs his spectral fingers over Tasharan's cheek.
Naughty.
Ow.
And wait a minute.
Was that 3d6?
Looks like it. Necrotic damage. As you feel as if the creature tugs at your soul. There we go. Haha! Oh shit. So you failed your roll. Okay. Let me just.
Is this going to be another mimic situation?
It could very well be. So here's the actual situation. Did it work? Did it apply it already? I don't know how to tell.
What was it supposed to apply?
A reduction to his hit point maximum, equal to the amount of damage dealt.
Was that permanent?
No. The reduction lasts until the creature finishes a long rest. The target dies if its hit point is reduced to 0.
What's your maximum hit points there, Serlin? What should it be?
It should be 16.
Okay, so
now
didn't
it is
do
10.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Now it's 10. Marvelous. Okay, so that's one, and then Spectre 2 is a jackal as well. Oh shit. Somebody save the paladin.
Nope, time to make another character.
Spectre 3.
Maybe you should have smote him? Smited? Smote?
Oh, oh, oh. Another miss, and well, I guess I might as well. Okay.
What a shame.
Yeah, it's that's actually quite amazing how that worked out.
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
I imagine that you might not. Okay, so noble or ignoble Tazarath has fallen. He is unconscious on the ground. His skin is sallow and drained of color, and his horns are cracking and in need of moisturizer. So what I'm gonna do is try to make Fairy Fire hit Spectre 2. He fails. Wait, does he fail? Yeah, he fails. He fails, which means that I will apply that. So now anybody that attacks Spectre 2 has advantage, just as long as Fairy Fire stays up. Let's
Yay.
see. Oh man, he can't blind and deafen people. That makes him so fucking sad.
Isn't Topsy female?
Maybe. I don't know how it is that you keep remembering that one. I can't. Hold on a second.
Well, because I remember.
Establish gender roles. Wait a minute. No, that's not it. Topsy and Turvy. Topsy. Topsy is female, thus the longer hair. Here you go. Topsy's the one on the left.
They both look like either.
Yeah, I know, but I'm told that. Yeah. Anyway, so moving on. This one. There to there. He's going to try to hit the one that has advantage on, and he succeeds. And he will then roll that. Wow.
Big damage.
So I think that's one. So I think it gets rounded down. Oops. Let me not make him hostile. Melrath! Melrath, what will you do? Crit the pants off of who? Okay.
Me.
So Melrath swings his blade, hoping to save Tazarath from an ugly fate of having his soul drained from his body, and he cleaves the creature in half. Despite the ineffectiveness of his weapon, it dissipates into mist. Bupido. God, he's got to be so pissed. Bupido races up to here, and then he's going to also fire at number 2. Okay.
Beto.
Okay. He manages to land a hit. It's about as effective as anything else. Like, the bolt just kind of slows as it passes through the creature, but it doesn't, like, impale it or anything. Turvy moves into the scene and will also target number 2. And crossbow. Bloop. Hit.
Pew.
And marvelous. We are back at the top of the round. Fixer up or you are up. What will you do?
Well, I don't want an attack of opportunity, so I guess I'll attack number 3.
Oh, okay. Let me get that targeting in here for you. Targeted. Go for it.
Frankly, I don't care that much about Serlin's character. Oh, which one was I targeting? Sorry.
3.
Okay. Ugh.
It succeeds. Sorry, bud. Snake, you're up. You're currently Spectre number 4.
Alright, I will continue to do that.
Oh, hold on a second. I just got to rotate him a little bit. He had attacked Ront.
Number 4. Okay.
A hit.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay, so enough assault upon the specter has made its form start to shrivel up a little bit. It's looking kind of wrinkly and ghosty. And now Bob the Warlock. It's his turn for revenge.
Oh, look, we killed one.
Yeah, just one.
You know what? Shut it.
You're also one of the only people. Oh, good, you hit. One of the only
One of-
people who does damage that they're not resistant to. So I was gonna say, make sure you hit. So this is
Well,
Spectre 3.
I'll try.
Spectre 3 takes damage and is also now in heavy status. Marvelous. Tazareth, you have a death mark against you. Ront.
I'm just betting Brett's saying, yeah, 1 down, 2 to go.
Trying to get you killed
Prepare
as
coup de
many
grace.
times as possible. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Let me say it again. Wow. So
Ron is a beast.
he is an absolute beast. He is the one person in the party that you guys probably hope never dies. Spiderbait, on the other hand, Spiderbait will not be missed. And apparently neither will that Spectre. So
You were waiting on that one, weren't you?
I was. Now, Spectre 2 has also finally fallen into heavy damage status. And Fargus is not targeting you. Just make sure. Yeah, that's okay. He's going to fire off his hand crossbow here. He lands a hit. And actually, you know what? Whoa.
He hit himself.
Wait, what? He hit himself?
Yeah. He damaged himself.
Oh my god, he did. Okay, good. That hold on just a second. Go like this, effect there, and then
Oops.
go like that. Ah!
I'll never get. Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah,
Well
so he
done.
has sneak attack damage because there's an ally within 5 feet of the target. So you to the Spectre's great surprise, his crossbow bolt somehow non-magically kills the creature from the shadows. Is it this
Nice.
one? That one. Yeah. So 1 down. Now
2 dead.
Spectre 2 is up. Spectre 2 shifts a little bit over. Melrath, you have an opportunity attack against number 2.
You mean Fixer?
No, I don't.
How can Melrath attack all the way over there?
So
Because he moved from his square.
here. Melrath threatens all adjacent squares to him. When the Spectre left a square next to Melrath, it triggered the attack of opportunity.
Trying to
Gotcha.
mob the cleric.
And so now he's going to try to hit the Fixer. And fails miserably.
Wahaha.
Spectre 3 will attempt the same.
Oh.
Hits! Bloop. Okay, and now I'm going to force you to save. Oh, shit. Well, we know what happens here. The Fixer. HP goes to... The Fixer actually falls unconscious.
Both our
Who's gonna
healers are
fix the Fixer?
Yeah, actually, that's a very serious question you guys now need to ask yourself. The practical...
Can I make a new character, guys?
the Fixer sees the spectral hand reach into his chest, and that is the last thing that fills his vision as he passes into unconsciousness. Now, his HP maximum is 8, his wounds are 10, so yeah, he's in death saving throws, or he should be, although the game technically kind of has some trouble with that, so we're going to pass over that when the time comes. Moving right along. Sarith is going to try to get these specters off of the Fixer. Wow, thank God that one was dropped. And is that a crit? It is a crit. That is the suckiest crit I've ever seen. That is the last. Well done, Sareth. Your shadow is everlasting.
But it's still a crit, damn it.
Yeah, I know, right? Crit for 2, my ass. Manages another hit. And actually manages to kill the creature. Next up, Melrath, what will you do? Of course.
Wordlessly attacking.
A very solid hit on a very unsolid creature. You land a pretty strong swing, but the creature still manages to persist. Bupito.
Do you have a list of all these puns that you're just waiting to use?
I am actually.
He comes prepared.
No,
Yeah.
no, I am using the power of my what was impromptu.
Don't let Bupito make furniture.
Yeah, that's actually part of it. Bupito is
I
really
guess
sad that he cannot use the corpses of these creatures.
he could make curtains out of them.
Actually, now that he
Very
thinks
light curtains.
now that he thinks about it, there's probably corpses inside of these things, so he's super excited to get involved.
He's like over there eating a corpse.
I know, right?
We're just like,
He's gonna
That's
just
delightful.
Out some of that corpse juice that's available. I brought a straw.
A nice Chianti.
Turvy manages to hit all of that stuff. I am going to move the round counter straight to Snake. And Snake, you're up.
Okay, I'll just try to stab number 3
How?
by crawling over my corpse.
You cannot occupy the same square as an unconscious character.
Oh, come on.
You can. You can step over him.
He's useless.
Yeah, the best you can do is move to like here.
Can you attack diagonally?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what I'll do.
Okay, hold on a second. Go for it.
And fail.
Oh,
Ah.
unfortunate. Bob, show him how it's done.
Okay, I'll try. Hiya!
Marvelous.
Hiya! Ha!
You finally managed it. Using your Eldritch Blast, you strip away the very essence of the creature until there is nothing left. You guys
Sorry,
have
Bupito.
combat. Well done. The effects of the Spectre will cling to your allies until a long rest has been done.
Does that mean the death effects too?
Well, actually, at this particular moment, they're gonna be in death saving throws. Normally, the Fixer Upper might be able to, cast Spare the Dying, but he's down 2. So you guys need to find a way to heal these characters with your available resources, or yes.
We did get a healing potion, but do we want to use it now?
Well,
Yes.
Oh, that's what Melrath says.
there might not be another opportunity to.
Who has the potion?
The Fixer Upper has the potion, and you only
Oh.
have 1 potion.
Can we take it off his body?
Yeah. This is a potion of greater healing, so it's going to be 40
Oh.
hit points.
Yeah.
Such a waste. I want to make a new character, guys.
Hold on a second. There's one more thing I just want to check real quick.
Is it a healer?
Okay, here's the alternative. If you guys roll medicine checks on these characters, there's a chance that you can get them into stable territory.
Medicine checks.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Anybody who's not dead, or unconscious, I should say, can roll medicine checks, and if we get 2 successes...
Nice. Fail, fail, fail.
Big if.
Fail, fail.
No, actually, Melrath
Oh.
is successful.
No, Melrath.
Who are you using your success on?
Obviously, the cleric.
No! Alright, fine.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna leave it at 8, and then I'm gonna set the. to. There we go. All right. You manage to stabilize the fixer-upper. He starts to come into unconsciousness, or from unconsciousness. He has a single hit point. Not
And
feeling
then,
great.
does he feel good enough to spare the dying of the other sad sack?
Yes, indeed, he does.
Unfortunately.
Let me see. Where's
As Ron drags me over.
there? Okay. So, if you guys haven't already, please go into your notes and make sure you note your normal hit point maximum.
Notes.
For the characters that were affected by the hit point drain, I mean.
Oh.
Yeah.
Public note. HP max 16. Jim Jar, death unknown.
Oh, Jim Jar. Oh. Forgot about him.
Hmm.
I don't know.
What? What?
What?
Sorry, hold on a second. Somebody sent me a message about Discord something. Oh, for Christ's sake, take me to the actual article. Okay.
Um,
Sorry, hold on just a second. This may actually literally affect our ability to use Discord going forward and force us to use Skype.
Oh.
I see. Shit. All right, I'm going to have to read more about this later, but it doesn't seem to be immediately affecting what we're doing, so I'm going to set that aside. Anyways, the feds are upset about stuff that's happened on Discord, and they may shut it down as an entire
Yeah, I heard about that
service.
too.
I just heard about that.
see.
We'll deal with that later. Okay, so anyways, for the moment, these characters are up with 1 hit point each. Yeah, you guys are going to have to determine if you want to do additional healing. Do you want to continue down the stairs? Do you want to leave the the, the tomb in hopes that you can find a place to rest nearby?
Could we not rest here?
Would you like to rest here with the specters?
Oh, good point.
I mean, you've killed these ones, but if there are any more in here that you haven't encountered yet, they could walk through the wall and eat your soul.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, no.
Oh, wait! You could go inside of these sarcophagi and rest.
Nope. 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 Big old nope.
Okay, well, regardless, what would you like to do?
Can
Honestly,
we?
I could burn a hit die. Both the cleric and I could burn a hit die. Yeah, on a short. But
That's true. Also, when it comes to the use of your hit dice, it looks like for both of you, you have your full set of hit dice, so you can burn 2 hit dice and see what you get.
And what does that do?
Every character has a hit dice pool, and the hit dice pool is so that clerics are not overly burdened, and that a party doesn't even necessarily have to run a healer sometimes. I don't think that's wise, but that was the intent
Right.
behind it.
Right.
So what you have a number of dice based on the dice that you rolled to get your hit points and equal to your level. So in the example of Tazarath, he is a paladin. Paladins roll d10s to determine their hit points. He is 2nd level, so he can roll up to 2d10 to try to restore his hit points when he takes a short rest. And that way, a cleric that is overburdened with spell casting doesn't have to heal each person individually. They can use some of their hit dice pool first.
How do you determine your hit dice pool?
If you go to your character sheet on the main tab, you'll see at the bottom where it says wound max temp. Underneath all that, it says HD, and then it shows a number 2 over a die. See that?
Uh huh.
That's your hit dice pool.
Wow.
Now, when you do it, there are times when you might not want to use both your hit dice. So you can choose to use any number between 1 and whatever your maximum is.
Hmm.
So anyways, do you guys want to do the short rest? You can rest for an hour, maybe circle the wagons around the wounded.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit short rest on you, Tazarath, so you get to heal yourself. And short rest on the fixer-upper. And actually, I got to do short rest on Bob as well because he gets the spell slot back.
Yay!
Okay, so you can set that to 1. Oh. All right. Let me check one more thing.
You should probably take off unconscious from me, too.
Maybe. Let's see here.
I'll think about it.
Wow.
Removed. Okay. So again, please note that your hit point maximum will not be restored until you complete a long rest. So that's where you guys are at. What the hell? Oh, I see the problem. I
We
would.
didn't.
Huh?
We didn't actually get the chance to search the sarcophagi, did we?
No. But Chris, I would remind you to add under your notes your hit point maximum so we don't forget.
I did.
Where is it?
Notes, new note. It's even public. It says HP max 60.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm with you now. I actually meant literally on your character sheet. What you did is fine, as long as we have it recorded somewhere. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay.
Right, so moving along. I'm reading. Okay.
Reading.
Do you guys want to open them in any particular order?
Nope.
Okay. Does it say anything about requiring a strength check? Yes. In order to open a sarcophagus lid, you require a successful strength check, and you're trying to hit a DC of 17.
Womp womp womp.
Give that.
It's just regular strength?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're not rolling well.
Oh, there
Yay!
So
I'm so strong because
Leave it to the cleric.
I just died. So
all my strength has come rushing back.
Yeah.
Oh, poor snake. So you managed to yank open the lid of the northeastern sarcophagi. Inside, you find 2 gold bracelets worth 50 gold pieces each and a ceremonial wand made of
Ooh.
chiseled ivory worth 25 gold pieces.
Ooh. But it's
Covetous
not a
paladin.
magic wand.
I think that as amusing as it was to have you roll, on a practical matter, you guys can absolutely just like work together to get these open because there were so many
Right.
people involved. So we're gonna keep going through, and then I'm gonna give. Here's what we're gonna do. Go to the inventory on the party sheet. Here is all of the gold located in the thing, and I'm going to read through and pretty much describe it. Northwest sarcophagus contains an onyx ring on a corpse worth 50 gold pieces and a silver necklace with set with 2 azurites and a carnelian worth 250 gold pieces.
Wow.
The southwest sarcophagus contains a ewer made of beaten metal worth 25 gold pieces and a walking stick worth probably 75. The walking stick is made of a varnished yew and it has a golden handle shaped like a scorpion. The southeastern sarcophagus contains a gold censer with a platinum filigree worth 250 gold pieces.
Whew.
So who should we assign all this shit to?
The sensor goes to the cleric. Beyond that, I don't know.
Oh, the center is just treasure. It has no. It's decorative. It has no properties beyond that.
Looks like all of them are just gold, right?
Yeah, I would suggest just like picking a strength monkey and sticking them onto him.
Ront.
I can't assign to Ront. It needs to be an actual player.
Ooh.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Hey.
That's a lot of money. Wow.
It will be when you can sell it.
Hmm.
Can we sell it in sloobity doop dop?
Quite possibly. Assuming that they actually have
We get there alive.
get there alive, have sufficient gold, don't have your hit points drained to 0. All that good stuff. Okay, so everything has been assigned. The present state of exploration for the area. You have a door to the south that you haven't explored yet, but you also have a secret. Okay, we're going down the secret passage.
I think so.
I'm going to move you here for a second because I need you to be out of the way for this. And then I'm going to go like that. There we go.
Da, 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 da.
Okay, now here's the other thing. As you guys can see down at the bottom here, there's not a fuck ton of space. So for the purposes of this combat, a lot of these NPCs are going to end up getting left upstairs because there just isn't space for them to occupy. So why don't you go ahead, arrange all of the actual party members down here in this space, wherever you want to be relative to that, and then I will read everything.
Well, you said combat. Does that mean we're about to get into it?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Can we bring Ront with us for meat shield purposes?
Yeah, you get to pick who's going to come down there. You can take 3 other characters.
Ront, Topsy, and Turby, I say.
Sure.
Okay. All right.
I say the gnomes.
Whoa. Let's have.
They've got the most hit points in the entire.
Right, someone needs to flank Fixer Upper. So, okay.
Okay. Are they fucking serious?
Which one are you, Cyrillin?
What do you mean? I'm Tazarath.
I can't remember your names. They all look like. Well, Tazarath and Melrath. Never mind.
Well, that's true.
I just wanted to make sure you weren't flankable. That's all.
Okay. So as you guys descend the stairs, you find that this space has murals on all of the walls, and they're decorated with very rich pigments and inlays of semi-precious stones. A gilded sarcophagus stands atop a stone bier along the west wall.
Pretty.
And so,
Beer.
as you enter the space, you feel a shiver run up your spine, and oops, you have some you feel the shiver run up your spine, but nothing else seems quite to happen. So if you want, you can explore around the room for a bit.
Something's.
Should we touch it? What did you say this gold thing was?
Whoops, I only meant to click that one.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the first number then. I don't know why. Anyways, there's a gilded sarcophagus atop a stone platform, which they call a bier. Anybody else gonna roll?
I rolled.
What are we
poorly.
rolling?
Oh, okay. We're rolling perception. We're taking a look around the room.
That's not it.
That's interesting.
Where's perception?
It's under skills.
Skills. Ta-da! Oh.
Okay. Everybody spreads out and starts to take a look at the murals, trying to determine what can and can't be looted. As you guys are investigating, the fixer-upper narratively will be about here I'm going to put you back where you were. Narratively moves around, and you come and stub your toe, and at first you think it's on the stone pier, but you realize that there's something here. It's actually invisible, and you reach your hands out cautiously and you feel, and there's a stone chest that is invisible and resting at the foot of the sarcophagus. Um, that makes it incredibly difficult for you to kind of manipulate and figure out like, where the hinges, because the hinges seem to be internal. How does it open? What direction? Yada yada yada. So yeah.
Can we open it?
I'm trying to figure out.
Can I persuade it open?
It's an invisible mimic that's going to kill Serlin.
Well, then you
Probably.
should probably open it.
Well, then we should kick it.
It looks like you can indeed open it, but the problem I was having was just like, well, is it locked? It doesn't say. So I don't know all of the details for it. So I guess what I'm gonna say is, it is presently locked. Who would you like to try to pick the lock?
Isn't Fargus good at that?
Yeah, but he's upstairs right now.
Let's send
Wow.
Ron upstairs and get Fargus.
Okay. So Ron goes back upstairs, tells Fargus to come back down, and Fargus is sitting here at the foot of this thing when all of a sudden the room is suddenly bathed in a cool blue light, and that chill that ran up your spine feels like an actual Arctic wind. And from the sarcophagus rises
A Dementor?
brisk Khaem. And as she rises up and slowly sort of floats up above, she glares at the party with a cold, cold eye. And she looks at you one by one. Well, I see my midnight snack has arrived. I'm going to drain the life from each and every single one of you, and when I've done that, I'll finally be able to leave this wretched space, and when I've done that, the world will fall to its knees before me as I drain the life from the living. Initiative.
She's a bitch.
Everybody roll your initiative. Initiative.
Oh, my terrible initiative.
And your terrible southern accent.
All right, we are all in place. So, once again, at the top of the round is the fixer-upper. What will you do?
Will I roll religion?
You might, in fact, do that.
Okay.
Okay. Click and click. The fixer-upper goes a little bit pale when he recognizes that this creature is a wraith.
Oh.
Okay, so it has the same damage resistance profile as the creature you came across, but it can be affected by silvered weapon, which the party doesn't have. It is still immune to necrotic and poison. It's also immune to the same conditions. It has the same incorporeal movement. The thing that is most noteworthy about the Wraith is not the life drain, which it also has, but in the event that a humanoid has been dead for no longer than 1 minute and died violently, the target's spirit can be forced to rise as a specter under the control of the Wraith.
Whole Spectre party.
Yeah. So if you guys have any, spells you've been saving, you might want to just blow that wad right all over its face, because if anybody dies in this combat, they will join as another specter against the party, and you had enough trouble getting those down last time. So
We didn't have trouble.
Here's her beauteous image.
Pretty.
Indeed.
Is she immune to anything?
Same as the last character or
Okay.
last monsters. She has same damage, immunities, and resistances and all that.
Perfect.
Fixer upper. What will you do?
I will.
Please use a more effective spell. Sacred Flame won't work.
Because
I'm a cleric. I don't have a bunch of offensive shit, you know?
Yeah, but
What am I supposed to do? I have, like, healing spells.
actually, on a really serious note, in this particular instance, I would recommend Shield of Faith. You can't afford to go down.
+2 to 1 creature?
Yeah, yourself.
Hmm. Alright.
There we go. All right, let me just take care of this for you. There we go. Let me see if it modified it appropriately. Shield dex, second. Oops. There. That should probably have it covered. Okay. Marvelous. So that is your turn. Unless you're going to move to some other location.
Nope, I'll stay in the middle here.
Melrath, you are up.
I'm going to run up and stab it.
Melrath leaps
Stab it dead.
from standing on top of the sarcophagi to swing at Briss and manages a hit. Huh. Okay, well, as with the previous creatures, it is very difficult to damage these, so that is your turn unless you have something else.
Nope.
Okay. Snake, you are up.
Magic missile.
Pew.
Force damage.
There you go.
pew pew.
Oh, do I need to roll it on its head?
I've targeted it. You can roll it in the chat if you want.
Okay. And then I roll 2 more.
You should have actually had all the rolls in the first one.
Huh.
Actions. Magic missile. What the?
I guess just roll it again.
Yeah.
Twice.
Grab the damage and roll that again, I guess. And then it's supposed to be 3 of them, right? Yeah, 3.
Mhm.
Okay. That is actually the most effective hit you guys have had so far. 2 4s and a 2 is really not bad as far as the average for these things go. So, well done, Snake. Ront is up. Ront went upstairs, so he's not active.
Oh.
He peaced out.
Fargus Rumblefoot. Well,
He's in a position to backstab.
well, he just needs to have someone adjacent to the creature. So he is, in fact.
You mean like Melrath?
Yes, exactly. Fargus is terrified of Briss and is unable to swing properly and land a blow.
Wait, her name is Briss?
Bryssis. Briss. Or
Hmm.
Brysis?
What a dumb name.
Brysis.
Isn't that the part they chop off at a...
We're going to stick with Brysis. Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah. I was like, why is he calling her a Briss?
Also, if you thought this was a dumb name, just you guys wait until you get the apocalypse. There are some shitty ass names in there. Moving right along, however,
Taserface.
Sareth would act, but he can't. Topsy is here, so Topsy reaches into his pack and whips out a war pick and swings it at his foe. Manages to
Jesus.
The war pick slows as it passes through the creature and impacts upon the sarcophagus. You wretched little creature, you'll pay for damaging that! Bob, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna psychic the shit out of this bitch.
Yes.
Oh. Oh. Why is that not working?
Here, hold on a second. Bloop, and go. You can drop it in the chat, and it should hit her now.
Huh. Neither of those are working. Hang on one sec. Do I have to check off one of my spell slots first?
No. You should. Let's see. Your cast.
At some point, you should though. Yeah.
Dissonant Whispers, right?
Yeah.
There we go. It
Ooh.
fails, which means you've hit.
Okay. That was weird.
And so the
Wow.
wow, well done. So you ended up managing to do as much as the magic missile. So you you form your hands into a little cone, and you sort of whisper in that creature's direction, and you can see the wraith writhe as the psychic damage impacts upon it. Bupito is up. He's not present. Turvy is up, and will can't use that. Self.
Right.
That doesn't help. Okay. Hand crossbow. And misses. Now it is time for Brysis.
It's time for the bris.
She whirls upon Melrath and attempts to swipe at him, but he's too quick for her and manages to avoid being impacted by those deadly hands. Tazarath, what foolhardy thing will you do?
I'm going to attack from a distance, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, "Your spirit is quite strong. It would serve my masters in hell well."
Well done.
That was my best imitation of Frieza, by the way.
Ah.
Anyway, I'm going to. I know she's resistant to basically any chromatic attempt I could do, right?
Yeah, but she's
So,
only immune to poison, so, 3d8 is
right.
3d8.
Well, I'm going to do the whole Dark Lord of the Sith imitation thing and do lightning chromatic orb against her.
Marvelous. Go for it.
Let the hate flow through you.
You hit!
Very
Excellent.
nice.
Very lucky.
Yes.
It didn't do it to her.
No, it didn't.
Her.
So I'm just gonna play that automatically.
Sorry about that.
No, I think it's because, well, I guess it doesn't really matter, but just in case, I'm gonna target.
Oh, she got pushed into heavy.
Brysis has finally gone into heavy damage, which actually means
Finally.
quite a bit more damage than the specters you fought before.
Yeah, it's because we're unloading on her.
Well, she's still not dead when they might well have been. So, Fixer Upper, what will you do?
Kill her. Kill her.
I won't kill her.
Oh.
There is an option that you may not have considered. Channel Divinity.
Oh. How do I roll for that?
You don't, I do. So what would happen is I would roll a spell save DC versus something. Let me see here. Is it equal to your cleric spell save, which means under actions? What is it? Sacred Flame. 13. So it has to beat a 13 on. Actually, what is the roll for it? Is it wisdom? What the fuck? Per an action, speak. Wisdom saving throw. Okay. I don't know if that's going to be a saving throw. Okay. Is that it? Haha! It fails! So, the fixer-upper reaches to his chest and holds out aloft the holy symbol of war, a warhammer flaming, and the light around the light around the holy symbol flares up and suddenly lashes out against the wraith, and Brysis shrieks and writhes, and now the effect of which is the creature is now turned and must spend its turns trying to move as far away from Fixer Upper as it can. It cannot willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. It can't take reactions, meaning if someone tries to get out of its reach, it won't get an attack. And for its action, it can only use the dash action or try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. If there's nowhere to move, the creature can use the dodge action. Now, this effect will last for 1 minute or until it takes any damage. So, Melrath, you are up.
So can we just rob the grave and leave now?
Um,
I mean, she's almost dead, right?
She
no,
she could chase us.
actually,
If
Eric's point is that if she's frightened and has to move away from you guys for a full minute, then there's not really much of a chance for her to try to stop you. Um, so
So we could rob the grave and then, time our attack on her after that?
yeah, I think that's actually totally possible. Here's what I'm gonna say. Because we're dealing with 6-second intervals, that's how long each character gets to act, right?
Mhm.
I will let you guys this round loot one thing. It can be either the sarcophagus or it can be trying to break into that invisible chest.
Oh, okay, I'll just kill her.
But what if there's something in there that, well, I mean, it's not like she's that hard anyway. But
what
Okay.
what if the chest tries?
tries to kill you? Well, we're hoping that happens.
That's a sacrifice we'll have to make. Okay, so the Wraith has been hit, so it's the effect of the turn is over. Stake, you are up.
Same thing.
Good deal. You're still targeted, so fire away.
Pew!
Oh, wait, before you fire, don't do anything just yet. That didn't do it. Huh, okay. Never mind, go ahead. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. Wow, you actually managed to do even better than last time. Well done. Your bolts of force lash out and really shred up Bryce's specter. And the creature now enjoys holes in its form. Ront is up. He is not present. Spiderbait is up. He is not present. Fargus Rumblefoot is going to attempt to attack.
Coup de grace.
Hits. Let me also add sneak attack. And then short sword. Bloop. Well, that wasn't quite as impressive as last time, but it's still pretty significant damage. At least on the roll. Sareth is not present. Topsy is present.
Only 4 damage got added. I'm not sure the.
Yeah,
Sneak attack expired.
No, the sneak attack went into there, but the sneak attack doesn't bypass damage resistance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so he manages to hit with his war pick. Wow, maximum damage. I don't know how Turby is that accurate, but Bob, you are up.
I'm just gonna go with my crossbow at this point, because she almost dead.
Do you really want to give her an opportunity to try to drain someone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Just like, yes.
Oh,
Not even
damn it!
Well, I see that she has survived your deadly assault. Who is laughing now?
Everybody else.
I hope Bob gets targeted.
Bupito is not present.
Oh, I hate all of you.
Turvy Turvy fires off his hand crossbow. Manages to hit. Does he kill?
Nope.
No. Fuck no. Well. It is Bryce's turn. And, hmm.
She's gonna miss again.
I kind of hope not. I think it would be a lot funnier if she doesn't and like really fucks someone up. Um, check. They actually have more, even fucking more. Oh yes.
Fargus Rumblefoot, no.
Whirling, she stretches her arm out, her claws, and lances at Fargus Rumblefoot.
That was 4d8.
Wait a minute, the damn. Oh, I didn't apply it properly. Fargus Rumblefoot is taken down in a single blow. He is
What?
Yeah,
No, he's not.
27 is his
Oh my
CP.
god.
Yeah. So he has to roll a Constitution save. Success, which is good because
Yeah.
27 is his maximum hit points. He would be
Yeah.
outright
He'd be
dead.
beast.
So Fargus Rumblefoot barely hangs on to his soul as the wraith attempts to claw it out of its body, to the horror of the party. Bryce's curses as Tazarath begins his turn.
So Fargus can be saved?
He can still be saved.
Yay! Wow. Just barely.
Yeah, very barely. Actually,
Tell the honest truth, I'm trying to figure out whether
let me check something
I
real quick.
run to save him or not. I think I would.
Hold on just a second, because I want to check something about death. Let me see here. Moving around, creature size, actions, melee attacks, healing, dropping to 0 hit points.
So was that a hit of 27 exact?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
18. Okay. Fortunately, he did not instantly die from that attack. I had to look up how that works because it doesn't come up very often. There we go. It would have had to be dealt double the damage that he was. So, you're gonna go over and try to save him.
Yes, I will.
Well, Tazarath is up.
So I will do that.
Okay. So hold on a second. Let me give you the right target so you don't restore hit points to the wrong creature. All right, you're targeted.
Okay. I'm going to use Lay on Hands.
Go for it.
So that would be, what is that?
Well, no, it's not a roll. You have a pool, and you choose exactly how many hit points you want to restore.
Right.
So you could just restore 1, so he's conscious, or you could his maximum hit points is 27. So anything between that.
Yeah, but I can only heal 10. Let's do healing of... let's do healing.
Do healing of what?
Yeah, you cut out.
4.
Okay. You lay hands upon Fargus Rumblefoot. There is a glow, and some color is restored to his cheeks, which were once fallow. Fixer upper, what will you do? Okay.
I'll just run up to it.
All right, you're already targeted, so go ahead. Oh, as you are doing your thing that you're doing, when you approach the sarcophagus, you hear a voice connect with your mind. It's very distant. In the sarcophagus, I can help you. Let me free.
Can we open it?
Yeah, you have the option to open it. It's not like she can physically stop you.
Oh, so that's not an attack of opportunity?
No. That's a telepathic voice coming from inside the sarcophagus claiming that it can help you in the fight against Briss. Or Bryce's.
But it could be a trap.
Yeah, it could be a very clever mimic, but I don't know. That's up to you to decide. You want to try to open it?
Yeah, I'll try to open it.
Okay, so roll a strength check. This will be
Crunch.
your action for the turn, just so you're aware.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Holy
Nice.
shit. Just when it matters, there's the fixer.
Yeah, he's a good roller when he's not dying.
Yeah, every time. So, so you push open the lid, and inside you can see Bryce's withered and mummified corpse, and there's a magic sword in her hand. And you can tell that this is the source of those telepathic messages, and it cries out to you, grab me, free me, free me. But you've also used up your action for the turn, so next on the list is Melrath. You hit? Oh, too bad. You managed to swing. She is still largely unaffected, and now it is time for Snake. What will Snake do?
The same thing, my last slot.
Which is what I should have done.
No comment.
Just trying to save a slot.
Still targeted. Uh-huh.
No.
Pew.
Yay!
The magic
And-
missiles lance out and strike into the Brissus Khaem's body, lancing and tearing her apart, and then she evaporates like a bad dream. She cries out and it echoes into the distance. No, these disgusting peasants have defeated.
Epic trail off.
So, now that that's all over, with
Whew.
Crisis finally vanquished, you
Yay.
guys are able to make your way into the sarcophagus. The sword that is inside is calling to you. Pick me up, bring me home.
It's only calling to the cleric guys. Sorry.
Actually, everybody can hear it.
The cleric opened the cough.
Also, it turns out that the gold sheath that was on top of the lid of this thing, it's really thin. It's slightly thicker than like aluminum foil, and so you can just kind of lift it off and roll it up and stick it in your backpack, and it's worth about 250 gold pieces by itself. So let's loot that. Bloop. And now that Bryce's is vanquished, the chest is still invisible, but it also opens readily.
Forgot about the chest.
Yeah. So opening up that chest, the chest itself is invisible, but with the lid removed, you can see the contents. There is a magical necklace inside. A potion. 2 potions, in fact. Differently, with different appearances to them. Let me see here. One potion has a rose-hued effervescent liquid that contains a tiny little bubble shaped like a heart. And a vial filled with red fluid that smells strongly of mint. There are also 11 zircons, which are gemstones, each worth 50 gold pieces, mixed in amongst 1,200 gold pieces and 4,000 silver pieces.
Whoa.
Jeez.
Whoa.
Rich bitch.
She was.
Yeah.
So yeah. There you go. That's the contents of this particular
Do we have an unlimited bag?
Bag of holding.
You don't have to worry about that. You're just going to distribute it amongst all the characters, and it'll pretty much work itself out. So, at this point, with Bryce's vanquish, the chill that had been sort of haunting your spine, for lack of a better word, is no longer in the area, and so you feel that the that her ancient resting place has been cleansed. Um, so at this point, you have a magic sword, a necklace, two potions that are probably magical, and I also found out because I was recently looking at how identification works in this. All you have to do is take a tiny little taste of any potion in the game, and you know what it is. The obvious downside is, in the event that it is a poisonous potion, that could suck like real bad. So, do you want to stick your tongue in these?
Yes.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Kyle, do you individually wish to taste this with your tongue?
Sure.
Okay. You have identified the filter of love. The next time
Mm.
you see a creature within 10 minutes of drinking this filter, you will become charmed by that creature for 1 hour. And of a species and gender that you are normally attracted to, you regard it as your true love while charmed. And this potion's rose-hued, effervescent liquid contains one easy-to-miss bubble shaped like a heart. The other potion
Isn't that cute?
is another potion of greater healing.
Isn't that cute?
Still extraordinarily important because you didn't actually use the other one, did you?
No.
Not yet.
Okay. Shit. Hold on a second. Caps lock off. Oh, no, there's no the. It's just fixer upper. There we go. Okay, so that's going to go there. Who wants the filter of love?
Ron.
I'll take it.
How about Bupito? He needs some love.
He does need to. He's lonely. He is very available.
What did you say was magical? This necklace?
The necklace and the sword.
How do we find out what they do?
You're going to have to take a
I'm
long rest. Do you guys think that it's safe to take a long rest in this ancient
hold-
tome?
Hold on a second. I've got divine sense. Can I tell whether or not the sword is
The sword is what?
good or evil?
That's an interesting question. Give me a moment and I'll look at some details here.
I've got to get the cabled connection working again.
Okay, so you sense a celestial tint to the blade.
I am moderately disgruntled by this, but I'll leave it alone.
So, will you guys do the long rest here, or are you going to leave the tome, or what?
There was that one other room that we didn't explore here. It's the thing. I'm still not sure it's safe to rest here yet.
Should we go back up?
I'm going to take that as a yes.
I figured that was the main boss. We should just go see what the other.
Okay. So you're going to go to the other room.
That's my vote.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, I want to see someone die.
Whoa.
You guys open one door, only to find a second door, which you also open. Inside this room, stone blocks
Ooh.
standing against the western and eastern walls are carved with niches, inside of which rest a dozen clay canopic jars. In the middle of the room rests a wide stone sarcophagus atop a black marble bier. The lid of the sarcophagus is inlaid with a dust-covered mosaic depicting great floating cities high above a beautiful landscape. The lid of the sarcophagus looks incredibly heavy. And that, I believe, is the contents of the room.
Let's figure out what's in that sarcophagus.
Okay. Are you gonna go push the lid off?
I'm gonna tell Ront to do it.
Ron can try. Let's see here. Oops.
I'm still recovering from nearly dying.
Join the club.
Oh,
I
okay.
did.
So
Started the club.
Ront walks right up to the sarcophagus. He gets there. Now, it's incredibly obvious that this thing is like super heavy. So he really kind of like shakes his arms out. He takes a moment, gets himself, nice and braced, and he shoves as hard as he possibly can. The lid goes flying. It hits the wall on the opposite side, and he falls into the sarcophagus.
Well, nice knowing you, Ron.
A mouth appears on the wall over the top of the sarcophagus. You have disturbed the tomb of Briskayam! Accursed are you, most miserable of creatures.
The tomb of who?
Oh yeah, Bryce. I forgot. Fortunately, you guys have already defeated Bryces. So
Mhm.
the magic mouth just kind of sits there with its big, like, earthworm-like lips, looking real
Yuck.
stern. But it kind of doesn't mean anything to you because she's dead. Dead. So,
DED dead.
inside of the sarcophagus, there is a life-size statue of Bryces in her prime, sculpted and painted to make it appear that she is sleeping comfortably. And Ront's face is buried so gently between her kneecaps.
Not where I thought you were going to go.
I know. I took it classy at the last minute. Anyways, the only other thing in here that you guys have not investigated are the canopic jars.
Should we open one?
Wasn't there supposed to be a tome here?
This is the tome.
No, a tome as in a book.
Ah,
I thought that
no,
was...
this is the false tomb.
See, we were talking about this...
So, Chris, I apologize in advance. It is a issue mentally that I have always had my entire life between tome and tomb. I can never use the right word. I mispronounce it all the time. In fact, this session, I probably switched between the words a dozen times. So I am sorry that I gave you the wrong impression. Next time I will not be fancy about it and just say a place where dead people are versus a book.
So there's never been a tome?
No.
I thought there was at one point, but...
Well, there is a book in the sense that Fargus found all of this stuff.
That was my question.
Yeah, he has a book
okay.
that talked about this lost tomb. Tomb, is that?
This lost tomb.
Yes.
Yes.
So there's
Okay.
a tome that talked about the tomb.
Why don't we call it a book and a
And
graveyard? Right.
Crypt book.
Crypt
so
book.
anyway, having opened this up, you don't see any obvious treasure in here. Like, the statue's nice and all, but nobody gives a shit. Inside the canopic jars, you lift the lid of one, and you find desiccated organs. Now, there's like a number of jars, and they all are like filled. Like, these jars are like the size of a medium vase, and so like an entire body's organs have been stuffed in here, and there's like 4 of them. So you have a feeling this might have been related to like the specters that you defeated, but they're probably not Price's organs.
Do we want to open all of them?
I just assumed since there's no negative repercussions. I just
Okay. Yeah, that sounds gross.
Yeah, it's super gross.
How valuable are the vases?
Oh, they're like kind of shitty clay.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's really nothing to any of this. Yeah.
I'm tempted to get Bupito to snort some of the ashes, but okay.
Oh, when you turn around and address Bupito, he has his pinky finger stuck into one of the jars, and he just looks at you, and you look at him, and then he just turns around, and you can see his arm wiggling.
Boy.
Oh God.
Wait,
So-
wait. He whirls around. Tap tap. Can I have your jar?
Um, knock yourself out.
Marvelous. I'll make you some mufflers.
I Tazaras does not know how to respond to this.
Taking an opportunity, he lashes his hand out and grabs the jar from your hand and moves off to a corner before you can say much more. You guys have now fully explored the lost tomb.
Crypt.
Crypt. There we go. Crypt. I need a thesaurus.
Should we take a long rest?
Are you going to take it in the tomb, crypt, or outside of the crypt?
I mean, thematically, I would never, but the tomb seems fine.
The tomb seems empty.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
there's lips that are kind of stern, but aside from that, it seems okay.
Well, the lips are still there.
Oh yeah, there's. So let me be very clear on this description. There are from the crease of one corner to the crease of the other, 4-foot wide lips. Okay, blown up about 4 times the size of normal human lips, and they are on the wall. And they spoke to you when the lid was open and Ron fell in.
Should we practice making out with him?
You can actually physically go over and like touch the lips.
Gross.
Yeah, they look like giant earthworms. It's disgusting.
What band has that as their logo? Is that the Rolling Stones?
It could be. I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm not very into music, so.
Yeah, it is. It is the Rolling Stones. Can we get it to try and sing Rolling Stones?
You would have to learn the magic mouth technique. Actually, let me. Lips. There it is. Oh yeah, sure enough. No, it's way grosser than those lips. But anyways, you would have to get the magic mouth technique, and the spell, and then you can make it do whatever you want.
Oh.
Yeah, these ones are already pre-programmed. So when a certain event happens, they say their thing, and then they're done. Some magic mouths are capable of answering questions. They may be programmed with that capability. But aside from that, there you go. Now, it is worth noting that in some magical libraries, ancient magical libraries, instead of having a humanoid as the, bookkeeper or Dewey Decimal Manager, they have magic mouths that can answer questions. Where is book X, Y, and Z? And then the magic mouth will answer the question. So, with all the magic mouth trivia out of the way,
Who wants to take a long rest?
I do.
okay,
Me.
I'll just go ahead and start doing that for everybody involved. Long rest. Oh, for all characters that were affected by the Wraith, please go ahead and adjust your hit point maximum to what it should be. If you have any trouble doing that, let me know. I don't think there should be any, but I have powers you don't, so.
I'm back to 6.
Rest.
Fargus needs a rest too.
Oh yeah, let me also clear out his. Is there anybody else? No, nobody else has been hit. Okay. As a result of the long rest, if everybody can go back to the party sheet for inventory, the objects that you have found have been revealed. So I am going to go through the least interesting object first. The necklace that you have found is the necklace of fireballs. Now, this is a necklace with several beads hanging from it. The necklace actually, I should determine right now how many beads does it have. The necklace has 7 beads. You can use an action to detach a bead and throw it up to 60 feet away. It always hits where you want it to hit. When it reaches the end of its trajectory, the bead detonates as a 3rd level fireball spell with a spell save of 15. You can hurl multiple beads or even the entire necklace as one action. When you do so, increase the level of the fireball spell by 1 for each bead beyond the first.
Wow.
So 9th level is the maximum. Fireball is the 3rd level spell, so you can increase its spell level by 6 meaning if you threw the entire necklace, you'd be wasting one. But that would also ultimately end up meaning that you would be doing. Actually, I don't know what Fireball is. I think it's 66. Spells. Fireball, where are you? Fireball is 86. So you would add another 66 to that, and that would bring you
Wow.
to 14d6 on a single attack. And you have one left over. So, who wants the necklace of fireballs? Any character can use this object.
Should we give it to Fargus? Or do we want to be greedy?
I would prefer it go on to a player because I don't have inventory for non-player characters.
Gotcha. How about the cleric?
I'm not sure. Yeah, cleric. I think.
The cleric is a war cleric, so whatever.
Works for me. Let me put this on. Fixer upper. There we go.
No, that's a larger comment on how the party was initially supposed to be and how it is now. But okay, I'll take that.
Right
Somebody had to get their character killed.
I think that you'll find that the situation has been dramatically evened out by the presence of Dawnbringer. You have found a legendary weapon. It is an ancient longsword hilt. It does 1d8 radiant magic damage as a bonus to the 1d6 that it normally does, and it has a +2 to its attack rolls and damage rolls. Additionally, its properties are finesse, meaning that you can choose to roll dexterity instead of strength if you want to, and versatile, meaning you can choose to wield it with two hands and take the damage from 1d6 to 1d10. This particular weapon requires attunement by a creature of non-evil alignment. Lost for ages in the Underdark, Dawnbringer appears to be a gilded longsword hilt. While grasping the hilt, you can use a bonus action to make a blade of pure radiance spring from it, or cause the blade to disappear if you wish. The Dawnbringer has all the properties of a Sunblade, which is elsewhere. While the blade exists, the magic longsword has the finesse property. You gain a +2 damage rolls, does radiant damage instead of slashing damage, so there is no physical damage dealt by this weapon. If you hit an undead with this weapon, it takes an additional 1d8 radiant damage on top of the 1d8 radiant damage that it already does. This sword's luminous blade emits a bright light in a 15-foot radius and dim light for an additional 15 feet. The light is considered sunlight. While the blade persists, you can use an action to expand or reduce the radius of the bright and dim light by 5 foot each, to a maximum of 30 feet or to a minimum of 10 foot each. While holding the weapon, you can use your action to touch a creature with the blade and cast Lesser Restoration on that creature. Once used, this ability can't be used again until the next dawn. And because I know that not everybody is familiar with the spells, Lesser Restoration. You touch a creature and end either one disease or one condition afflicting it. The conditions can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned. Sentience. Dawnbringer is a sentient, neutral good weapon with an intelligence of 12 and a wisdom of 15 and a charisma of 14. It has hearing and dark vision out to a range of 120 feet. The sword can read, speak, and understand common, and it can communicate with its wielder telepathically. Its voice is kind and feminine and knows every language you do while you're attuned to it. This weapon was forged by ancient sun worshippers, and Dawnbringer is meant to bring light into darkness to fight creatures of darkness. It is kind and compassionate to those in need, but fierce and destructive of its enemies. Having spent some time with it, you've also noticed that the long years lost in the darkness have made Dawnbringer frightened of both the dark and abandonment. It prefers to always be present and shedding light in areas of darkness, and it strongly resists being parted from its wielder for any length of time. So,
So she's kind of clingy.
yeah,
But
a little bit. However, she's also a +2 magical weapon that doesn't even do physical damage. Who wants Dawnbringer?
Who's unfortunately evil?
Well, Tazarath is completely immune from ever wielding Dawnbringer. It will not work for him. So
Isn't that a shame?
the choices are the Fixer-Upper, Bob, Snake, and Melrath. The best two choices are Melrath and Fixer-Upper.
Yeah, I think Melrath is.
yeah, Melrath needs.
Fixer Upper never wanted a necklace of fireballs. Fixer Upper wasn't designed to be a caster, but okay,
I'll,
fine.
I'll trade you the sword for the next.
No, it's fine. Take it.
Sure. Okay. I'm assigning it to Melrath.
Alright.
Then Gold Chief, I'll assign that to Melrath as well, and Zircon will go on him because he's strong, and distribute it. All right.
I'm just glad that Serwin didn't get it.
Oh.
Meanwhile, here I am with a bunch of dried meat and jam.
Simply magical. So at this point, I need to pull open the story, and then I want to go to. This is getting a little closer. There we go. Okay. Oh. Okay. After you leave the Lost Crypt, you guys take a rest for a while. You attune with your weapons if you need to, and right. You guys continue your passageway down an incredibly dark cave system. You hear dripping water, which means that you're starting to come close to the dark lake. You can feel the humidity begin to hang in the air, as you would near any body of water. Um, as you follow a passageway, it opens up into a large, eerie cavern. And inside this cavern, it is littered with countless bones of various creatures. It's unclear whether or not this is a natural graveyard for some Underdark species or the former lair of a gruesome predator. Um, but in this boneyard, you can see that there's a fair layer of dust that has settled over the area. Um, Everything has been picked clean. There's no, rotting meat or anything attached to the bones. And given the dust on both the floor and the bones, it looks like it's been a while since anything's been in here. Um, do you want to try to proceed through to get to the other side of the cavern, or what?
What I'm gonna do Divine Sense real quick, since I've got 4 of those a day.
Okay.
And until the end of your next turn, you know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet of you that is not behind.
Okay. So you kneel, hold your sword out as an antenna. Your form is sheathed in the evil with which you worship, and you stretch out your magical senses. And as you feel around in the darkness, you realize that there are 3 skeletons hiding within the boneyard. They are not assembled, but if you get within space of them, since they are animate, they would assemble and attack you.
Hmm. Do I also detect the presence of a place that has been desecrated? Just
No.
to be sure.
Nope.
Okay.
This area is neither hallowed nor desecrated. It just so happens that amongst all the bones, there are some skeletons that can be animate if something comes to attack you.
Are those considered undead?
Yep, they would just be
Oh.
the skeleton monster from the monster manual.
Okay.
Okay. Can we
Also,
go through?
skeleton, just to give you guys a sense of threat. Oh, shit. Something really important. Super, super important that we should handle right now. You guys leveled as a result of defeating Briss.
Yay!
And I can't
Crisis.
believe I forgot to mention that. So why don't you guys resolve that real quick? As far as the skeletons go, they are craptastic. They are really weak.
Right.
They are something that first level characters fight, and you guys are now 3.
And remind me how to level.
Sure. So you're going to go to classes, which is under library, right?
Okay.
On the
Mhm.
class list, you're going to see your class. You want to make sure that you're going to grab the one from the player's handbook. I don't think it matters if you grab it from like Xanthar's guide or anything.
I don't think so because I've done that before. Yeah.
Okay, then just make sure you grab your character class. You need to have your character sheet open already, and you'll see on the main page, class and level says Warlock 2. Grab Warlock, drag it to the class and level. It will cause Warlock to go to 3, and it will start giving you some prompts to level up.
Sweet.
I believe Oath of Conquest was the one I was aiming for.
Yeah, that's what you said before.
Yeah.
Oh, I figured something out. Let me fix Snake then. Hey, Snake. Not that this requires immediate attention, but if you go to your character spell list and look at Magic Missile, I just figured out how to add additional dice to it, so now it should properly roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm there.
So if you click on the magnifying glass, it now says 3d4 plus 1.
Oh, all right. Neat.
Yep.
And the spell slots should be added automatically because I noticed they adjust.
Yes, they did.
Mhm.
Actually.
But what isn't added automatically is if you got new spells, you have to pick them.
Right.
So wait, now it says second, and there's 2 spell slots. So I could do either a first or a second.
I'm gonna look up your what you're supposed to get in terms of spells, but there's a more important answer to your question, which is that how warlocks work is if you pop open Snake's sheet, can you look at Snake's character sheet?
No.
No? Okay. Uh, then I'll just explain manually. The deal with warlocks is obviously you get less spell slots than every other character in the game, right? Well, to
Mm-hmm.
make up for it, now that you have reached 3rd level, all spells that you cast are cast as if they were 2nd level spells.
Oh.
So if you
Okay.
look at Dissonant Whisper's description, it says at higher levels, when you cast a spell using a spell slot of 2nd level or higher, the damage increases by 1d6 for each spell slot above the first, right?
Oh, and I see it does say 4d6
Yep.
psychic. Yeah. Interesting.
So now, actually, let me check and make sure Arms of Hate are alright. They are not. I will fix it. Okay. So now, every single time you cast a spell, even though it's a 1st level, it goes up to 2nd.
Cool.
And more importantly, let me pull open this. Get out of my way. Okay, so now that you've hit 3rd, you learn one spell. It may be 1st or 2nd level, your choice.
Okay.
So when you go to the spells, do you remember how to sort?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so go ahead and do that. And let me actually, I'm gonna check one last thing. Nope. All right, so we go to Warlock, Great Old One, and then level 2. You do have specific spells relevant to your patron at level
Mm-hmm.
2. Detect Thoughts and Phantasmal Force.
Cool.
So don't forget to look at those in addition to the standard Warlock spells that are available at 2nd level.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, one more thing. In the event that you finish your level up, please make a mark in the box for me, and that way I'll know when everyone is done.
I'm just making sure that I.
Oh no, there's no rush. I just wanted you guys to know what to do.
Oh yeah, Paladin learning does not work that way. Okay, I'm done.
Oh, okay. It's a big level for sorcerers. They get a bunch of new spells.
Yeah, they gain their meta magic.
Hmm. Yeah, empowered spells pretty nice.
It's really, 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 really good. Um, and the fact that they can just say, "I want an extra spell slot" and trade in points is phenomenal.
Right.
I would recommend under either log or notes, keeping track of your sorcery points.
Yep, I have 3 right there right now.
Beat me to it. Yep, there they are.
Okay. Do you have a recommendation for level 2 spells?
Oh, you bet. Let me pull them up. Let's see here. Cleric.
None of the NPCs with S level, do they?
No. You guys are
Okay.
unique in that way. So first of all, when it comes to the cleric, please remember that by virtue of reaching second level, you and being war domain, you get 2 spells for free.
Hmm.
So I'm adding those in here. Spiritual weapon and magic weapon. Magic weapon lets you touch a non-magical weapon as a bonus action, and then that weapon becomes a magic weapon with a +1 bonus to attack rolls and damage rolls. So you can use that to get around situations like you had with this wraith,
Hmm.
by making either your weapon or someone else's magical. And spiritual weapon lets you manifest a spiritual weapon that does force damage, and it floats around and it moves separately from you. It's like a ghost weapon, and it will, swing and attack things as you choose. So we got that out of the way. Second, let's see here. Hold person is probably one of the greatest things that you could possibly have. I also massively recommend Prayer of Healing. This
Yeah,
is
yeah, that's what I got last game. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Other things that might be of use. Zone of Truth is handy when dealing with role-playing situations. You already have lesser restoration thanks to the blade that's in the party. Um, hmm. Gentle Repose is something that you might consider, but I can't imagine that you would cast it. The short of it is that you can cast this on a corpse, and it extends the time limit you have to find someone to raise the dead by 10 days. There's not a lot of opportunities for that in the Underdark to begin with, but it's also find traps, which is great. Blindness and deafness is very good, but you also have it currently on Topsy and Turvy.
Right. And that's their favorite thing to cast.
Well, because it's really fucking good.
Hmm.
So there you go. Those would be
Well,
my recommendations.
as a cleric, though, you have more or less access to all of them. It's just a matter of preparing them. Or am I misremembering?
Well, technically, yes. Meaning that, like, just because you make this choice every single time you rest, if you want to swap out spells
Hmm.
as a cleric, you can. But you cannot simply choose from the entire spell list every single time you want to cast a spell. That's what your spell list is for.
So it's every long rest, right?
Hmm.
So cantrips are level 0, right?
No, well, actually, that's a good question. Let me pull that up. I'm 90% sure that they are, in fact. Okay. With your cantrip, cantrips level on their own, and at 5th level, you will get 2 beams instead of 1, and the beams can target the same creature or separate creatures. At level 11, they turn into 3 beams, and at level 17, you get 4.
No. I mean, I'm gaining new cantrips from a feature.
Okay.
And how do I pick those? Are they level 0 in the library?
Oh, yes, they are.
Okay.
All right, guys, you pick find traps or hold person. I mean, I could swap periodically, but what should I start with? I used find traps in the last game, so I
Yeah,
don't
so
know
a
if.
super quick explanation for people that might not know, Kyle. When it comes to find traps, by casting this spell, anything that you can see in the room, if there's a trap on it, you will know. It just unequivocally. There's no check, nothing. You just know it's there, so you can deal with it accordingly. Um, Hold person forces an opposing monster to roll their wisdom saving throw. If they fail, they are completely paralyzed and can do nothing. At the end of every turn, they get another chance to try to save versus the hold person. But in a combat, if there's like a caster or one really strong warrior that's giving the party trouble, you can just select that character and say, hold person, and if it succeeds, they don't do anything and they lose their turn every single round, as long as they don't save against the effect. You can attack them at will, and it won't cause that effect to go away. You also get advantage on any attacks against paralyzed creatures. So that's the two spells that are being inquired.
Sorry, there's a lot to read. I might
Mhm.
take a while.
That's okay.
Um, so no one has a preference in the group between the two.
I don't know.
Seems like no.
Just because we lack a thief right now, apart from Fargus, who's an NPC and not going
Yeah,
to.
I'll just take that then. It was useful in the last game.
Yeah, and it absolutely settles the question, regardless of what you roll.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Channel- See the Sacred Oath class feature for how channeled divinity.
So yeah, I might just take more time on this next time. So let me just write this down real quick.
But of course, I took Prayer of Healing. By the way, it's pretty much essential. I think.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Kyle, if you click on the notes button on the right-hand side of the screen, you can also make a note for yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. You can choose to make
Yeah.
it public or not, your choice, but that's fine.
So there was something in the abilities called Pack Boon,
Mm-hmm.
not Pat, Pact, and you just have to choose one. So that's where it's taken me some time, but I can always come back to it. Sure.
Okay. I'll take a quick look.
Oh, Eric, can I take your weapon? What was it?
It was a short sword.
Oh, never mind then.
Okay. Um,
You could dual wield.
I'd rather keep the shield.
I meant
so here's what I'm gonna say. When it comes to your familiar,
Go to hell, Serlin.
when it comes to your familiar, under Pact of the Chain, if you summon a creature, that creature acts independently of you, but it always obeys your commands. So you would have, like, say, an owl. You could send the owl off to scout ahead of you. It has dark vision, so it can perform in that way. It can fly, obviously being an owl. So there's a lot of utility around it. Now, none of those um, creatures that you can get from Find Familiar. There's imps, pseudo dragons, quasits, and sprites. Those creatures are actually quite a bit better than the normal Find Familiar options for wizards, because this is normally a wizard spell. So there's some benefit there, but they're never going to be super great at combat. Although, you know what? I want to look at one thing real quick. Give me a split second. That drives me crazy. I go to tools? No. Nope. Stupid monster manual. Monster manual. Here we go. R S. Almost there. S. Aha. Oh, that's trash. Okay. Um, your best options in there would be pseudo dragons or quasits. I can tell you about them if you're interested. But moving on to the other stuff. Pact of the Blade. It lets you create a packed weapon in your empty hand. You choose the form that the weapon takes, and you're proficient with it while you wield it. It allows you to make some melee attacks with advantage in a way that you wouldn't normally be able to. Generally speaking, huh? Generally speaking, most people take Pact of the Tome.
Yeah, that's what I was leaning towards.
Yeah. The only thing that I need to sort of warn
Isn't
you
that a bunch
about,
of extra spells?
he gets 3 cantrips.
Yeah, that's what I took.
Yeah. The only thing to warn you about is that the spell list that you pull them from, you use whatever that class's modifier is for casting. So if you take them from the wizard spell list, then they would go based off of intelligence. If you take them off of the sorcerer spell list, it comes based off of your charisma, which is your spellcasting stat anyways.
Okay.
So that's what I would tell you. And it's really quite good. It gives you way more options in terms of like stuff you can cast. You can even choose utility stuff and round yourself out that way if that's what you want to do.
Okay. I think I will come back to that.
Okay.
And I
So
will
then
check
we'll
the
set
table.
that aside for now. So, as for the boneyard, are you guys going to go through and attempt to wipe out the skeletons or go around?
Can we go through in such a way that we can avoid this?
Nope.
I don't really care about. Well, okay,
Yeah.
let's.
Yeah, there's only one path leading through here, and it will take you directly next to several skeletons.
Screw it.
Yeah, they're skeletons. We can kill them.
Okay. Where did it go? Here, and then why is that number? Huh. What happens if I do that? Okay, it just creates them on an individual basis. Got it. There you go. 3 skeletons are created. We'll just stick with the initiative you have because this isn't really going to be much of a fight. So, Fixer Upper, you are up first.
And there's no map for this?
Nope.
Okay.
I will attack the first one,
Okay.
I guess. Skeleton 1. Very clever name.
You hit. Okay, your short sword swings, crashes against bone. You nearly destroy the creature in a single blow. Ront! Wait a minute, not Ront. Melrite! Okay, you hit skeleton number 2. Also, a glancing blow, but more than enough to bring it down to half hit points. Snake!
Wait, don't I do extra damage because it's undead?
Oh, you do. Roll another d8.
He's dead now.
Probably. Oh, as long as he doesn't roll it. Okay. Still not dead.
Whoa.
There was a chance. It's holding it together, barely. But Snake, what will you do?
Snake will fire a. Um,
Well, who are you targeting first of all? One that's been damaged or one that hasn't?
I'm just going to use magic missile and knock both of them out. Hopefully.
Okay, give me a second. Actually, you can technically target all three and then divide them up however you want.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll do that.
Okay. Targeting 3. Go ahead.
Should I just roll the damage in the chat then?
Actually, you know what? I just realized. If I do it this way, it'll apply the damage to all three of them. So let me just clear this out. We're going to start with number 2 because it's most damage. So roll the damage in the chat and we'll see what happens. Okay. Not dead. Would you like to roll another one against it?
Yep.
Go ahead.
All right.
All right, so you've knocked one out. I'm going to change the target to... Go ahead.
Huh. All right.
Resilient somehow, just
Mm-hmm.
mostly due to very poor rolls. Ront is going to target Skeleton 3 because his rolls are normally so fucking good. He misses! Has he missed in combat before? I don't
I think he has with a javelin like once or twice, but
Barely. Spider Bite fears no skeleton. And actually
pew.
manages to fucking kill the damn thing. Pitiful. Fargus fires his hand crossbow, hits, and doesn't kill it. Sareth is also going to fire his hand crossbow. More damage is stopped on.
It didn't
Topsy
actually.
steals the necklace of fireball and throws the whole thing.
Ah! Everyone die.
Right.
The previous 2 bolts did not connect.
What?
Sareth and Fargus's bolts didn't actually
So they did.
show up damage.
Thank you. Still not dead. Bob!
The honor is yours, Bob.
Oh boy. Do I cast a spell slot to make up for
No.
last time? Oh, okay.
No, I think you're okay this time. You can
All
probably just force damage it into oblivion.
Oblivion. Okay. Bam.
There you go.
Ah.
Boom.
Marvelous. Okay, you have finally taken out the skeletons. But Google wanted to know how it could help us. With the skeletons dead, you find that they had nothing of any value on them whatsoever.
Imagine that.
Yeah, yeah. So, a little more importantly than all of that, give me a second. Wait a minute, I can just type it in. There it is. So, okay.
Typing.
I'm trying to get to the appropriate thing that I need. That's the thingy that I need. Is it here? No. Is this it? Yes. Yes, this looks like what I'm looking for. Okay. As you guys make your way out of the boneyard, you come atop a hill of sorts. And from there, you can finally see out over the dark lake. It stretches way, way beyond what your dark vision can pick up, but there are some lights out in the distance that reflect off of the lake and the inky darkness. And this cavern is so incredibly massive that it would contain every city from the surface world within just this space. And you can see Slukeldop spread out along the shore, flickering lights in the distance. And then, coming up from around the bend, um, wait a minute, what? Okay, I think I found what I was looking for. A Kuatoa group has arrived. There are 6 regular Kuatoa. There are 2 Kuatoa monitors, and there is a Kuatoa dressed in probably what passes for Kuatoan finery, but is mostly just accessory. Let's put it that way. There's lots of entrails. There's
Hmm.
robes of sort made out of seaweed, um, and the creature speaks in Undercommon. So let me get this here. Oh, did that just come up in English for everybody?
Yes.
Well, great. I am Ploplopliplin, Archpriest of the Sea Mother Blibdulvulpulpin. She answers my prayers by delivering you. Help us and you will be rewarded for your service.
You should get a reward for that.
I know, right? DM thumbs up. What do you say? Anybody in the party?
I don't speak under.
You don't.
For the purposes of the
Re-
role playing, since
remember, I was from the surface,
I
and
have
then
not
Fargus and
gone
me
to
got
Chris,
Yeah.
what I was going to say is for the purposes of this, since you are generally one of the only people willing to role play, another character that does speak Undercommon would be happy to translate for you.
Oh. No, I'm gonna let somebody else embarrass.
Okay. Will someone else take up the mantle?
Uh, okay, she answers my prayers by delivering you.
Help
What
us
does
and
that
you will
mean?
be. What does that mean? Well, you see, the inhabitants of Sluldaldop have lived in harmonious service to the will of the Sea Mother, the god that I worship. Oh, there were occasional visionaries that would stir up trouble. And at the mention of stirring up trouble, now remember, and actually, can I show you a picture of these things? Give me just a second. Little reminder. Here we go.
And what are they again?
These
What's
things.
his name?
Who? The
What's
speaker?
his name? Yeah.
Plupulplupine. I hope you had a good laugh. These creatures have
I am
these
enjoying every second.
giant eyes that stick out on each side, and they're kind of glassy. So, on the mention of occasional vision makers who were stirring up trouble, it she rotates her head very slowly until one of those giant eyes is looking directly. Wait, what's his name?
Shushar.
Shushar the Visionary looks directly at him, pauses for a moment, and then says, "But none of them were any great concern. But a few weeks ago, Blop Blip Plop Ploop Ploop Ploopin's own daughter experienced powerful visions of Limulgulgun, the Deep Father, proclaiming him as the new god of the Kuatoan people. Now, this daughter, whose name I will not say again, has fanned the flames with a great increase in her magical power, and new followers have been rapidly flocking to her. We are split in two, Ploop Ploopbean explains, fighting amongst ourselves, and with the followers of the Deep Father have been making an increasing number of offerings on his altar, killing blood sacrifices and then casting the bloody chum into the waters of Dark Lake where it is being consumed by something. Now, what I would propose is we use you as bait. The Archpriest of the Deep Father needs humanoid sacrifices, and you would represent a prize collection in that regard. I would offer you as a token of peace and reconciliation to get you closer to the Archpriest of the Deep Father, except that in agreeing, you will not be helpless prisoners, but infiltrators. I want you to disrupt the upstart faction's rituals, allowing the true believers of the Sea Mother to cut off the head of the cult. If you agree, I promise you will be well rewarded for your aid.
So you want us to be bait?
Yes.
Hmm. I don't like it.
Does anybody like it? Should I do a vote?
I honestly have no idea what they're saying without somebody explaining it to me.
Someone explain it to you.
I can't actually copy this, and I know that my voice chat is kind of cutting out, and that's why you don't follow. Here's the super short version.
No. I got all that. I'm saying I'm assuming somebody is explaining all.
Yes.
Yes, we're translating.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're doing an insight check to see if she is being honest, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am opposing that roll, which only I know with her deception skill. So only I know whether or not what I am saying is true or not. And as far as you can tell, because Kuatoa don't have normal facial expressions for humanoids, she seems to be sincere.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I mean, didn't we have one of these guys with us?
Shushar the Awakened.
Yeah. Can he talk to her?
He's translating.
Uh, no, he doesn't want to go up there and be bait, right?
Well, actually, he believes that it's a way to make peace with his people and possibly lead them to enlightenment.
That doesn't sound so bad. Why don't we do it?
I mean, what's the alternative? Are they going to throw us in jail if we don't?
Oh, um, well, actually, she's not going to tell you what the alternative is. She wants a decision from you first. So either you do as she requests or you don't, and whatever happens will happen. There will be no going back if you don't like the results. In either instance, whether you say yes or no.
I agree with Starmy.
You want to go for it?
Yeah.
Might as well only deal with half of them at once. But whatever. Well,
Yeah, and
go.
actually,
I'll go with Shushar.
Serlin brings up a good point, and I'm just gonna throw this in here as a little bit of information that Shushar can mention. Um, so in talking to this priestess, he asked for a quick assessment of the state of society, as it were, and basically where it's at is that the followers of the Deep Father account for 45% approximately of the Kuatoan population. So technically, numbers are slightly on your side in terms of people that are still honoring the Deep Mother.
Hmm.
Now, part of this plan is that she is going to request that all of you take your weapons and place them in your backpack. So it will take you a little bit in combat to, get them re-equipped, but you'll have them. Okay? As far as your armor and stuff, they'll just leave that on you because for the purposes of sacrifice, it kind of doesn't matter to them. They'll just stab you in the head if they were going to do that. You know what I mean? So you would
Hmm.
also have your armor, you would have your weapons, you would have your spells, and all of that. So you'd be fully equipped, and she's going to fake tie your hands. And when I say fake tie, I mean all you have to do is separate them, and then the whole thing will just fall apart. And yeah. So, party has agreed to do this, yes?
Sure.
Marvelous, and that's a perfect place to leave off for next time. So, thank you guys so much for playing. Thank all of you for watching, and I will see you next Monday for the sacrifice of the party. Yeah.